So a new week starts and we start with a DEVBLOG. The C13 TUA Under Armour is coming. It was already leaked and of course it was already teased by Gaijin before, right? But it is still something very interesting to talk about. So this is going to be Italy's first squadron vehicle, okay? And it is using the C13 chassis, right? A vehicle that is already in the game. I thought it wasn't in the game. I don't know why I didn't know that this vehicle was already in the game. But basically, we have the C13 APC, which is the objective of this thing was kind of to be an APC, right? Something that would replace the M113, right? And yeah, with this, they actually tested multiple variants with multiple turrets. And one of them was the TUA, which is the TUA Under Armour variant, right? Which has the ITOW launcher similar or basically the same, right, as the M901, right, in the American tech tree. So that one is already a squadron vehicle as well, which is pretty interesting because now we have the Italian version out of it. So the good parts about this vehicle are that it's highly mobile, so it's very fast. It has, a thermal imaging system, which is great, just like the American one. And then it has the ITOW ATGM, which is a great ATGM, depending on the BR that this thing falls into. Of course, if you really take a look into the American one, the 901, right, you would see that it is an 8.3 vehicle. So it would probably be going to that BR, I would assume. I would imagine that it wouldn't make a lot of sense if it doesn't go to the BR, right? Of course, it is the same chassis as the C13 T90, right? Which is the version that has the Cockerill 90mm, right? So it does use pretty much the same engine, the Isotta Fraschini engine, which is pretty interesting for me as a racing fan that watches WEC, right? Or WEC. We call it WEC here in Brazil, but because Isotta Fraschini was racing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans and stuff last year. And now, I mean, I think they were, right? I don't remember. I mean, they were racing on the championship. So a racing team that has an engine that was fitted into a combat vehicle, which is pretty interesting. I never knew that. So yeah, but because of that, you can know that it goes up to like 70 kilometers per hour, which is pretty fast. But it doesn't have any armor. So the armor is around 6 millimeters, as you can see over here. So 6 millimeters on the upper, front plate, but on the lower plate over here, 13 millimeters. So it will basically have no armor whatsoever. Here you have, I think he has, does he have another plate under this? Oh, it does. Okay, so it's a little bit better than I was thinking, right? So, yeah, highly angled. So it might actually deflect some shots, but mostly this thing will be killed very, very easily, okay? So you have to imagine this vehicle as just like this chassis over here. It's the same chassis, but with the TOW launcher from this system, okay? So it's pretty much that. You have thermal visions, you have the ITOW, okay? So is it something very much worth to actually get? Well, guys, you tell me, because it is a squadron vehicle, so it might as well, come and it would be okay. The problem that I see is that the 8.3 vehicles on the Italian tech tree are very problematic, okay? So it will probably be an 8.3 since the American one is already one like that. And as you can see right now, we don't have any 8.3s unless you are using the M113A1 with the TOW launcher, which is another ATGM launcher. And these vehicles, they have one problem. Just like the C13, they cannot fire on the move, right? So, yeah, it is going to be a little bit problematic on the regards of, I mean, you have the sedan, but you get the point, right? You will have problems with doing tech trees with this thing. But it's more because the Italians don't have anything in these BR range. So yeah, the downsides that I was talking about, the good sides, good sides, of course, good mobility, thermal imaging, and a very good missile. The downsides is that it cannot fire on the move, it doesn't have any armor, and yeah, the BR will probably make it be kind of a hard aircraft to fall into your, your lineup, okay? But yeah, this is the C13. I think it's a very interesting vehicle. Let's see what it can do when the dev server comes out. So I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and thank you all the patrons and members. Bye, guys. See ya.